What's going on, guys? It's Michael MGF, and today, new pictures of the LEGO Star Wars Winter 2014 sets were just released, and a huge thanks to Eurobricks and Brickset for providing the photos that you're about to see in this analysis video. And these sets are very exciting. I mean, what I love about the new lineup for 2014 is it really gives all of us a chance to get all of those Revenge of the Sith vehicles that we all missed out on, at least I did. And not to mention all of the new minifigures. I mean, back in 2009, I dreamed of LEGO Star Wars sets like this, and it's just really great to me that it's finally happening. Just if you see, like, you'll see in a minute, like the Commander Neo, the Cushy Troopers, and the Wolfpack Troopers, and not to mention the new Wookiees and General Grievous. There's just so many awesome minifigures in these new sets, not to mention the brilliantly upgraded designs for all of the new Revenge of the Sith vehicles that these are centered around. And there is one Empire era set and a few Clone Wars, but without further ado, let's go ahead and move on to the analysis of all the new 2014 pictures. Okay, so we're going to start off with the new set called Utapau Troopers. And like Utapau Troopers, Kashyyyk Troopers, these are all like the type of set that I never thought would happen, that I dreamed of. I never expected LEGO to make a full set diverted to just, you know, 212 Troopers or just Kashyyyk Troopers. It's a really exciting time to be a LEGO Star Wars fan. But anyway, so you'll notice right off the bat that we're getting Airborne Troopers. These Airborne Troopers have all of the accurate details to the orange stripes on the top of their helmet, to the thinned out visors, to the orange right next to their breathers, and it's all printed and it looks phenomenal. And based on one of the Airborne Troopers, as you can see on the left, it almost looks like we might be getting a little bit of battle damage on the Airborne Trooper as well. And the design on the torso and the legs and the waist cape, it just all looks very accurate and just very nice. And if you look at the Airborne Trooper on the right, you'll notice that they will in fact have back printing, which is super exciting. And those minifigures just look incredible, and I am super excited that Airborne Troopers are finally becoming an official LEGO reality, because I honestly never thought this would happen. Not to mention that we're also getting 212 Troopers. These are not like the Clone Wars 212 Troopers that came in the Umbara set that were like yellow for whatever reason. These are orange 212 Troopers, and this is exactly what we all want. And the printing on their torsos look phenomenal from what we can see, not to mention the printing on their legs and the helmet. All the new designs just look really, really great. And in this set, we'll also be getting what looks to be an Octopod droid. Looks like it's a very simple design, and it's just thrown in there just so that LEGO can get these minifigures out to us. But regardless, it is still pretty cool looking, and it obviously has 2 flick fire missiles. How can you forget those? And it's just, you know, it looks like a nice vehicle. But you'll also notice something that LEGO has introduced that is entirely new, that will be changing LEGO Star Wars forever, and these are new blasters. The new blasters are pretty much little pistols that have like a little lever that you can just, I think you can just pull it back and then it'll flick a little whatever stud you put into it. And honestly, I think it's great for playability. It's really awesome. However, there are no pistols that look like that in Star Wars, and I just think it's a little bit strange to have these pistols and not get newly designed rifles, because I think all of us are okay with just having the rifles, but we all have been aching for a new design on these, and it looks like that's not going to be happening anytime soon, and we're going to be stuck with the standard LEGO blasters and these new flick fire blaster things. But regardless, I guess they're kind of cool. And that brings us to our next set, which is called Death Star Troopers. And this is about the only set out of the new line, obviously excluding like the mini vehicles that'll be coming with 1 minifigure each. Those sets are obviously not in this analysis because we don't have pictures of those yet, at least clear pictures. We only have preliminary pictures, which I never really do analysis videos on, just to clarify that. But anyway, you'll notice that we are getting a totally newly designed Death Star Trooper helmet, and other than that, that's really all that's new. Of course, they'll be including these new like flick fire blasters, which are kind of cool. They're not really flick fire blasters, they're just, you know, new blasters. But it's really cool to be seeing the return of Royal Guards. We have not gotten Royal Guards in how long? I can't even remember the last set that Royal Guards were included in, and these ones have new staffs and dark red arms, which are absolutely awesome, and the artillery cannon that is included is a very nice design, nothing too insane, but definitely very nice to keep the consistency going with the set. And now this set, this set from heaven is really awesome. The Swamp Speeder that is included with the Cushy Trooper set is not exactly the best. The Swamp Speeder set that was sold separately, you know, as a whole vehicle was better. That came with like Barris Offie and all of that. I think that was better, but this is kind of okay. Of course, it has the new blasters, and you know, the Cushy Troopers themselves are obviously where all of this is centered at. Like I mentioned in the Ewok Village review, there they are, the new Scout Trooper helmet designs, which are phenomenal, and they have printed visors, they have camouflage printed onto them, printed in breathers. It's a whole newly designed helmet, and it just looks absolutely phenomenal. Not to mention the standard Cushy Troopers that don't have the Scout helmet, which are obviously non-canon to Star Wars, and those never existed during the Battle of Kashyyyk, but they are still pretty cool, and I'm not complaining because they look awesome. And the green visors just really look awesome on these minifigures, and the color scheme is phenomenal, the camo is phenomenal, the designs are phenomenal, and it's just a great set, aside from the speeder itself. Next up, we've got the Republic AV-7 anti-vehicle cannon, and this looks awesome, and you'll notice that this introduces a newly spring-loaded launcher piece, which is very cool, and I think it's just, it's a new piece, and I think it's a little bit better. It's just, the problem that I have with it is it doesn't really look like a Lego piece. It looks like a Hasbro action figure piece, and honestly, I can't say I really agree with this whole new spring-loaded thing. As effective as it might be for playability purposes, I just kind of would prefer they stick to flick-fire missiles, because now these missiles just don't really look like Lego. But that's my only problem with them. But in this set, the actual anti-vehicle cannon itself is very well designed. If you look at that, that is the type of vehicle that you want to get multiple of, and it just looks phenomenal. Not to mention that we have two Phase 2 Wolfpack Troopers. We've not gotten Wolfpack Troopers since 2010, and now that they have their Phase 2 armor and their newly designed helmets and torsos and legs, it's just really exciting to finally see all of these Phase 2 troopers becoming a reality in official sets. And of course we get Plo Koon and a Droideka, big deal. But the problem that I have with this is that in the preliminary pictures, in the little box on the bottom right corner that showed the minifigures, there were 3 slots available. And I thought that this meant a Wolfpack Trooper, Plo Koon, and Commander Wolf. However, it appears that that's not the case, and that we're getting Plo Koon and 2 Wolfpack Troopers. And of course we got Commander Wolf in his Phase 1 armor years ago, but he would be so cool to have in his Phase 2 armor. And that's what I think this set is really missing, because we've got our Wolfpack Troopers, but we don't have their Commander. But regardless, it's still really cool, and with everything that LEGO is doing with all their innovation recently, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Commander Wolf perhaps in the summer sets of next year, or maybe sometime after that, because I honestly, with everything the LEGO Group is pulling off, I'm not counting out anything as being a possibility, so really looking forward to this set specifically. Following the anti-vehicle cannon, we've got a brand new AT-AP. Yes, we have not gotten an AT-AP since 2006 or 7 or 8, one of those years. And that's a long time ago. That's like when I started on YouTube. So it's just really exciting to see this again, because my AT-AP, it's been busted down for a long time now. And if you look at the AT-AP, it's practically got the same design as the old one, which I love because the old one was awesome. And once again, it's just really great to be given these chances to get these old vehicles that most of us would have missed out on or have broke down. But obviously the center focus that we've got here, we've got a brand new Commander Gree, and wow, honestly, just wow. Usually I'm one to pick out all kinds of flaws with minifigures, being the customizer that I am, but that Commander Gree is flawless. It is seriously perfect. The printing on the helmet, the printing on the torso and legs, and the color scheme, the accuracy, it is all exactly what I would expect, and it's exactly what I would expect and beyond. So I am very, very thrilled to see this Commander Gree looking as fantastic as he does, and just really, really, really cool stuff. And not to mention that finally, I think this is the first time that we have received a new Wookiee design since 2004. And I think it's about time, don't you? Because this new Chewbacca minifigure that's being... Actually, no, this is Tarful that's being included with this set. He's not really referred to as Tarful in this set, but that's really generally what he is. And the printing that is on him, the new design, it is just all exactly what I would expect and more, like I said, and it just looks phenomenal, and I can't stress that enough. I think I've made my point that I'm really excited for all these new clone troopers and Wookiees, so let's go ahead and continue on. The Battle on Seleucami set is kind of like a battle pack, but not really, because we only get one clone trooper, but that clone trooper is a BARC trooper, and this is just super, super exciting because this is pretty much Commander Neo, because Commander Neo has the same armor design as his BARC troopers, so that's really what it is if you ask me. And we're getting a Commander Neo official minifigure that is awesome. And if you look at the design on the torso, the helmet and legs, it is just really almost perfect. And it's just, I'm clone tarding, I know, but it's just, if this were happening back in 2009, I would have been dead and you wouldn't be getting a video at all, so yeah. Anyway, you'll also notice that we do get the spring-loaded missile shooter thing, which, like I said, doesn't really look Lego to me. I'm not all that fond of, but still pretty cool to see it utilized in these sets. We do get a STAP with this set. We haven't been getting a lot of STAPs lately, so it's really cool to see those again. Not to mention that we do get a couple of super battle droids and battle droids, so it's a really productive set in terms of army building, and just really, really looking forward to Commander Neo. Not to mention the BARC Speeder. The BARC Speeder is nothing special. We've seen designs just like it before, but it's still pretty cool. Then we've got a Jedi Interceptor, and this is Anakin Skywalker's Jedi Interceptor, and this brings back so many memories for me, guys, because when I started with Lego, after my parents moved me out of Mega Bloks when I was 3 years old, this was the first set that I got, and I got this set on like my 6th birthday, I think it was. I don't remember, but I remember I did get this set as a birthday present, and like I didn't get this set. That sounded wrong. When I say this set, I mean this vehicle. And at the time, Anakin's Jedi Interceptor was also it also came with a Vulture droid, which I'll get to the Vulture droid later. But to see these sets remade brings back so many memories to me, because this is when I started with Lego. Anakin's Jedi Interceptor and the Vulture droid set is where I started. So once again, seeing them remade, it's just it's really thrilling to me. But it's a pretty simple Jedi Interceptor design. It's nothing special. We've seen designs very similar to it. It's just upgraded. It's got its own new unique features, such as the newly spring-loaded launcher. We do get a upgraded R2-D2, which appears to have some darker colored blues to him, so that's pretty cool to see an upgraded design to R2-D2. And then we do get pretty much the same Anakin that we saw in like Palpatine's Arrest, but he does have a newly printed face, which is very, very cool. And that head is actually double-sided as well, which is very awesome. So, Jedi Interceptor, yeah! Next up, we've got General Grievous's wheel bike, and this is a set that I missed out on back in the day, and I still regret it to this day, not buying it back in 2004 or 5, whenever it was out on shelves. But the main problem that I see right off the bat, before I talk about Grievous and Obi-Wan and the design of the wheel bike, I just want to mention that this would have been the perfect time to bring back Boga. But Boga was not included with this version, and it's kind of a shame, because I never did get that older set, so I don't actually have a Boga myself. And could you imagine, with all the things that the LEGO group is printing and designing, how great a new Boga would have looked for this set? It really, sure, bumped the price up, but it really would have completed this set. And just getting the wheel bike is kind of upsetting, because I really would have preferred to have Boga in this set as well. But in this set, we do get a reprint of General Grievous's Clone Wars version, and instead of having the tan color, it is a white color with a ton of new design printed onto him. And Obi-Wan, there's nothing new with him, but we do get a Magna Guard staff, which is very cool to see those. Perhaps we'll get some Magna Guards in the 2014 summer sets. That would be cool. The wheel bike itself is very cool, and as you can see, it has a rotating feature on the wheel itself, and it has flick firing missiles, and it's just generally an awesome looking vehicle and an awesome looking set. Just really would have preferred to have Boga in there as well. The V-Wing Starfighter is very similar to its predecessor, and it's a set that I myself own multiple of, you know, back when that set came out, 2008, or no, actually it was 2007 or 8. I own like a couple of V-Wings of, you know, the older V-Wings in my time in this community, but I was an idiot and busted down both of them because I didn't think of how much I would miss those vehicles. So I'm super excited that we are getting a new V-Wing, and obviously we got the Imperial V-Wing, but this is the first time we're getting a Republic V-Wing back in action, and yeah, this was an iconic vehicle to me as well in Battlefront 2, anyone? And the pilot minifigure is very cool. However, we have seen this design before, so it's nothing really new. Sure, it might have some new torso printing, but the helmet itself is something we've already seen before. But the astromech droid included is definitely very cool, as that is a totally new astromech droid. I'm definitely looking forward to this entire set as a whole, and of course the spring-loaded launcher is included. Doorbell! Sorry about that doorbell there, but we've got some guys working on our house, so you'll have to excuse any background noise. But the Vulture droid, like I mentioned we would be getting when I was talking about the Jedi Interceptor, is a very cool new Vulture droid. You can see it looks to be like we're going to have a heavy amount of stickers on this one, but I mean, I don't really care because it's a Vulture droid, and it's something that I definitely would love to get multiple of, but that is only if I end up doing a mock, because I don't really buy multiple of sets for no reason anymore like I used to back in like 2009. But you can see we do get a Buzz droid, a Pilot droid, and a new Neimoidian warrior. And the Neimoidian warriors are very cool. I remember getting an action figure of the Neimoidian warrior way back in 2004. And the Neimoidian warriors are, you might remember them, when Anakin first went into the Mustafar like sort of compound when he wiped out Nute Gunray and the rest of the Separatist leaders. The Neimoidian warriors were the ones that were guarding that room that Anakin slaughtered. So yeah, and the spring-loaded launchers, of course, are still included, and the Vulture droid is very cool, and I just am really looking forward to kind of like recreating the old Anakin's Jedi Interceptor and Vulture droid set. Obviously, the Jedi Interceptor and the Vulture droid are now separate sets, which isn't a problem, so I'm just really looking forward to the both of these, as they are really my sort of classic set. Alright, so for the final set of this analysis, we've got the Droid Gunship, and back in the day, 2008, when the Clone Wars was first coming out, man, those were good times. I'm so sad that the Clone Wars is canceled now, but hey, Star Wars Rebels, right? But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, when this set was on shelves, I didn't buy it, and eventually when I went back to buy it, it was gone, never saw it again, and then I never took the initiative to buy it off of eBay or Bricklink. So to see it, you know, upgraded, redesigned, and repurposed for the modernized LEGO Star Wars 2014 line is just really exciting to me. You can see that it does act just like a droid gunship, and it has bombs that drop from beneath of it, from the underbelly of it, and you'll also notice that we do get the new spring-loaded launchers as well, and we got some ball turrets on the front, and it's just a really fantastically designed model of the droid gunship, and definitely a step up from the old one if you ask me. In this set we will be getting our first ever new Chewbacca. When was the first Chewbacca released? I can't even remember, and I doubt any of you can, because we have not received a new Chewbacca design since LEGO Star Wars began, practically. So I think it's about time that we got the new Chewbacca. I really wish that we would have gotten the new Chewbacca and Scout Troopers before the Ewok Village came out, because then the Ewok Village would have been really great, as I mentioned in the review. But I have no words for this Chewbacca. The printing is fantastic, and unlike the older Chewbacca, this one has eyes and a mouth and all of that awesomeness, and it's the perfect Chewbacca minifigure. It's even got printing on the legs, and not to mention that we also get a new Cushy Trooper. And I already talked about the Cushy Troopers, but it's really great that they're not just being included in the Cushy Troopers Battle Pack set thing. It's not really a Battle Pack. They don't really call it a Battle Pack, but that's essentially what it is, even though, but anyway, yeah, so it's great to see that we get Cushy Troopers in more than just one set. So yeah, guys, I think that's about it. I know I didn't speak too clearly throughout all of this, as I'm just as excited as you are, and yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and conclude this analysis video. Alright, so now that we're about wrapping up here, I actually just want to address a few things that I realized I didn't mention in the video. But first off, I just want to give thanks to Eurobricks and Brickset for supplying the photos of the actual sets themselves, because without them, this video would not have been possible, so huge thanks to them. And then also Hoth Bricks and Brick Ultra for supplying the minifigures, the minifigure photos that you saw pop up here and there throughout the video, because once again, without those guys and their websites, this video would have not been possible. So links to all of those will be in the description below, and obviously they weren't directly involved, but once again, the video would not have been possible without them. Now, one thing is that some of the sets I said they weren't battle packs when they are, so pretty much like the Cushy Trooper set, the Utapau Trooper set, the Death Star Trooper set, pretty much whatever set that I showed you that just included one side of minifigures. So when I say side, I mean like Republic, Empire, Separatists, etc. So those are actually battle packs, just so you don't correct me in the comments. And also, one other thing is how I didn't make this video up until this point because whatever photos we received were either low quality, preliminary images, or they were confidential, and I don't want to delve into any of that. So I waited till this day until we got these sorts of photos to do this video for you guys. And also, you might have noticed that the recruitment slash microfighter line I did not include in this video, and that is because we have yet to receive decent photos of those. We got photos of the you know, the mainstream sets, but we didn't get photos of the microfighter or slash recruitment line. And one other thing is the Droid Tri-Fighter and Coruscant Police Gunship were also not included in this set because for the same reason we have not received any clear images of those sets. And now that this, you know, full analysis is up, I'm not going to wait. I wasn't going to wait any longer to receive photos of the Coruscant Police Gunship and Droid Tri-Fighter, so I went ahead and did this now. So those sets will not be getting their own analysis. Maybe, I don't know, I highly doubt it though. So I'll definitely stick to sites like Eurobricks, Brick Ultra, Brickset, Hoth Bricks. That's where all of this originates from, and I just bring it to you from my channel. So yeah. Now that all of that's out of the way and I addressed all that, I am gonna conclude the video. Okay. Alright guys, so that about does it for this analysis video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did or found this video informative, be sure to leave this video a like below, as your support really does go a long way. Making an analysis video is not as easy as you think, but I'm really glad these new pictures were released because it gave me something to put out for you guys on my channel, as I'm currently working on a bunch of minifigures such as Call of Duty Ghost figures, Grand Theft Auto 5 figures. I'm working on an Iron Man suit, and you know, I'm working on a ton of new minifigures to show you guys, but obviously these sets aren't out for me to review, so keeping a consistent rate of you know, videos can be a little bit tough for me, but that's why you should follow me on Twitter and Facebook, because there I post daily updates of what I'm up to and what's to come for this channel, and that also includes behind the scenes photos of my videos and what I'm doing. So yeah, I definitely check that out, but without further ado, I just want to mention that I do apologize for not reviewing all of these summer sets for this year. They kind of came out of nowhere, and not to mention they came out during Brick Fair and they came out overseas, which I honestly, when these new sets, if they come out overseas first before Toys R Us, I'm just going to go ahead and order them, because it seems that LEGO has really doubled down on Toys R Us getting these sets earlier than everyone else. So if these sets pop up on Bricklink, I'm just going to go for it, because I don't want to have a repeat of this year. But I may or may not review Jabba's Sail Barge and the other two sets, or however many I have yet to review for the summer line. It's possible that I might still review a couple, but for the most part, I think I'm done with the summer reviews for this year, guys. And for those of you who wanted to see my opinion on those sets, I do apologize, but don't worry, as you know, there are plenty of reviews out there that you have probably already seen, and that's why I'm not going to be posting reviews on the rest of them for the most part. But once again, these sets are phenomenal. I absolutely cannot stress how impressed I am. It's just the new minifigures, which I think we're all really focused on here, is just incredible. And the new like spring-loaded flick-fire missiles, they're cool and all, but the blasters are really strange. The last thing I would have expected LEGO to provide us with in terms of new weapons are little pistols that fling studs. Honestly, I think it's a bad idea. I don't think it's necessary. It might add for some playability, which obviously that's what that's meant for. But personally, I just don't agree with it. I think they should have also, if they were on to do this, they should have also, like the LEGO group, should have come up with some sort of new design for just a standard rifle. Yeah. So there you go, guys. That is my analysis on the new 2014 sets. All of these new clone troopers have me freaking out, but I'm not just going to be a clone tart here, as the rest of the vehicles themselves are also really phenomenal, as are the rest of the set. So without further ado, that's it, guys, and I'll catch you later. All right.
Bye.
But regardless, the printing on damn it. It's nothing that, like I said, we haven't seen before. It's a very simple design. Okay, I'm gonna redo this part. All right, guys. So I need to breathe. And, you know what? I'm not gonna mention the age number because I don't really think it matters until I actually review the set. So whoops.